Yeah, what's good with chat niggas, man? So, I just noticed about the technology, and how it's evolving, right? And how it's working for me personally, you know, and how it's helping to escape the matrix, right? So, what is happening is now you can set up your own, little NASA basement, right? You can have your own NASA at your own house, you know, because of like the technology that we have, right? And I know a lot of people they don't know, like uh, they haven't realized, right, how powerful it is. So basically, it just depends on how you look at it, right? For most people, it's all about social media, right, and all the regular stuff, right, that come up with a phone and computers and etc. Right, but once you go deeper, right, and start to understand how these things work, right, you start to notice that what, when you look at the NASA basement, right, and how they operate and what they do, right, what do? They log in on the intranet, right, on the deepest web, which of course we haven't been introduced to, right? They're making all these Web3, just to blind us, right, from the actual internet and technology and the networking power, So for now, they're just giving us the crumbs, which is like, the basic stuff, live streaming, right? You can look at the planet from your phone, right, while you're at home. Like imagine back then, right, our people, the ancestors, right, all the guys that were here before us, all of us, black, white, green, blue, red, right, they would shit on their pants if they see you looking at the planet from your phone, from your house, right, even if it's just a picture, you know what I'm saying? So right now you can, tap in, right, you can communicate with like people that are far from you, like how they do it, how they used to do it in the Star Trek movies, right? They used to live stream, right, and communicate with the screens, from distances, right? And it came to a point whereby it's instantaneous, right? So even with this 5G, they are trying to, introduce these things, right? Low key, because they know once we can harness the full power, right, of these phones, because right now a computer is a phone, right? You don't, like for me, for example, I ended up selling my computer just so that I can, be right as I go out, right? I don't want to feel like, somebody's gonna hack me or, a lot of shit that comes with the computer and the laptop, right? So I believe if I have 3, 4 phones, smartphones, right, with different, quality aspects, right, camera, space, etc., right, screen, everything, I can have my own basement, right, a nicer basement at my own home, right, where I can look up information and, make discoveries, right, and also make a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Effortlessly, right? By just clicking buttons. crumbs. But the technology, the actual processes, right, programs, they are here on these phones. You can just set up your phone, your email, Gmail, right? And then, from there you send your vibration to the cosmos, right? Directly, depending on how much influence you have, right? You can send even to more people, right? Back then, it used to be only, the people that are like inventing stuff that have influence, right? But now, anybody knows the information that leads to invention. So we technically all know how to invent, right? So you see how we already have our own little NASA basement by just these little technologies that we have, right? So now, hold on. So now, right, we need to learn how to take advantage, right, of this technology so that we can free ourselves, right, from the matrix. And it's like, it just boils down to two things, right? Internet, right? If you know how to use the internet, right? Like, cause it's levels, There's a basic skill, right? And then there's a bit advanced, much more advanced. And then you have the experts, right? That can, surf through the deep webs, right? And access more resources, So we are in that time, right? We are at the end where they say you're gonna have all this, all these things. As far as technology goes, right? They're already there. All they are doing now, they are just, adding like just materialistic stuff, right? To make their program, right, look nice, physical, but it's still the same thing, right? It just goes from beginner, like I said, advanced, and then expert, So like, what's the purpose, right, of me making this video? Well, you see, I myself, right, I'm gonna try. Actually, I'm already on the process, right, of mastering, how the internet works, right, and network, right, because, they're making us network on a very basic level, you know what I mean? These things should have already reached a point whereby they are, they are not needed anymore, right? So that we can cut off the middleman, because this is just a middleman, right? What is actually happening is that they use the spiritual concept, right, of internet, right, technology, right, so that they can still keep us in the physical, right, and still make us think that these things can happen through technology and all this other bullshit, right? But before all this technology, people used to communicate, right, through minds, you know what I mean? And it used to be normal, right? So now, I feel like the gap, right, is being made much more bigger when they start to make more phones and more computers, right? And they, advance the internet, right? Because it is the same concept that we actually had the advantage for, So this is actually much more deeper than I have explained. But for now, right, the best thing you can do is to, shift your perspective, right, on how you use these things, and look at it as in like you have a basement, right? Your NASA, where you can peep through all over the world, in and out, right? And you can innovate, invent and create your own things, right? Without having to surf the internet, because that's their shit. You know what I mean? That information can only help you help them, you know. Other than that, I need to get to work. Scissors.